How do you do, y'all? This is John, and today we are talking about Good Boy, a new movie out in theaters right now. And in Good Boy, it deals with this dog whose owner starts living in this new place. However, this new place has this entity in it that is causing harm to the dog's owner. So now it becomes a question of, will this dog be able to warn his owner in time, or will the entity get him? Basically, this is a classic haunted house movie, but they decided to add in a twist to it with the fact that it's from the perspective of the family dog, rather than, the perspective of one of the humans living in the house. The dog, Indy, is the main character of the movie, not the person who owns him. Now, getting into what I liked about the movie, well, obviously what I just talked about, the unique perspective on the movie, it's kind of something that doesn't get done a lot. Movies from the perspective of an animal, but much less a haunted house horror movie. You don't see those very often from the perspective of the pet animal, in this case dog. So it kind of offers a unique twist on this genre, this classic genre that has been done a lot. When it comes to the characters, Indy is the main character, and he kind of owns the movie. He's in almost every scene, and not only that, but he is kind of the emotional core of the movie. Every little emotional beat in the movie is because of Indy. They also do a good job directing the dog, because they used a real dog in the movie instead of, really badly rendered CGI, which they clearly could not afford. But I'll get to that later. And, directing an animal and an animal actor, it's time consuming. And I heard that was very time consuming for the people who made this movie. And, I commend them for going that route and using a real dog instead of a CGI dog. The final effect was definitely more than worth any issue that they had on the movie, because it's far more effective than had they used just a CGI dog. Now, how's the horror element? The horror element is kind of a mixed bag for me. On one hand, they had the right idea in mind with some nice cinematography, sound design, visual look. That stuff was nice. But in terms of the final execution, it wasn't that scary. Part of the problem that they had was an overuse of fake out scares. And while it's not as cheesily done as in, The Haunting in Connecticut or something like that, fake out scares, especially super early on and super often, they tend to hurt the real deal. And when the real deal finally does come, it's just not effective. There's also a time in the middle of the movie where the narrative just gets very dry, very dry, and you're not as interested in what's going on as you were during the early segments or afterwards. And lastly, while there's not a lot of CGI in the movie, when there is, they clearly did not have the money to make good CGI. The CGI, it's nowhere near as bad as like Asylum level CGI, but it's definitely well below standard, and you notice them, and just takes you out of the movie very significantly. So guys, at the end of the day, Good Boy, it was a fun movie. It's definitely unique, but I wouldn't call it great. If you got a little bit of time to kill, for a quickie movie, because it's only like an hour, 15 minutes, I definitely think that it's worth your time. I just wouldn't necessarily call it a great movie or anything like that. I'm going to give Good Boy a 7. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And also, don't forget, I have a secondary channel where I do gaming content. I recently finished Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I've now started on Mafia: The Old Country. Please go check it out. And also, please remember, the Britsky will return.